Welcome to my new dialogue. For quite some years, I've been working on a project. One of the main goals of that project was to create an interactive application visualizing electricity. I had many prototypes since the beginning. It was even so far in the past, it was a time Unity even supported JavaScript. Anyway, I had many prototypes, which I am kind of showing here in the intro as a summary. This was a spare time project, and I spent a lot of time in the development of those prototypes. There was not only the problem of programming things, it may not look like at first, but it took a lot of time to develop the concept of the components representing the specific parts of an electric circuit. However, this is a story for another time. What I want to say right now is the following. I decided to end this prototyping phase and concept art phase. I finally decided what way I want to go forward to. For the last few years, I developed a concept of visualizing electricity. Now, I am going to work on developing a game. That intended game will use those concepts as a major gameplay component. You could say the game will be developed around this concept. That is the very reason this devlog series starts with the number 1. This is the very first video representing the development of a specific game. Like you could imagine from those clips of prototypes, I had many ideas, but now I am aiming at a specific idea. With the beginning of this devlog series, I no longer focus on the problems of the concept of visualizing electricity. However, with this very video from now on, I have regular game development problems. That's where the fun part begins. Or let's say, I know I do have regular game development problems like level design, character design, inventory system, etc. I assume many could compare the intended game with some aspects of Tomb Raider, Portal, Minecraft. But the main component will be the already developed concept of visualizing electricity. Also, for this series, I decided I intend, let's say, I hope, to create those videos more like an average devlog video. If this goal is achievable, I don't know. However, I am hoping to keep upcoming videos short from now on. I intend to show more visuals, less code. Imagining this new goal, I resumed working on this project. The updates I have been working on so far are a new building system. The code of laying down the wires was rewritten in a not worse way than it was before. The code for the toolbox system was also rewritten, although this has no visual component to show. However, this had to be done because I couldn't see how the old system could manage the upcoming puzzle cards. Knowing now how the game should look like, the whole system needed to be remade from scratch. Also, I had to implement a new feature in the database. Now, knowing where the path is going, I had to adapt the building system. To visualize the problem, I call the building areas carpet. On a carpet, the player can build with building blocks. Only the carpet is buildable. The carpet is a specific game object with a specific mesh. So far, one single carpet was enough. I had one specific coordinate system and all points of all wires were saved concerning this specific coordinate system. I could also have different areas to build on. Those polygons only had to belong to the very same game object. However, knowing where I'm steering towards to now, I realized some scenarios where I could get performance problems playing in a huge level. Also, there could be problems in the long run. If I would decide to implement vehicles or elevators or anything that would be nice to be movable, but I do not want to open this can of the Pandora right now in this video. I guaranteed to try to keep those videos short. So this won't be a topic for this specific video today or any other videos within the next few months. This is literally one of the problems of the very end of my current to-do list. Anyway, having multiple carpets implement that I no longer have one single coordinate system. I also had to consider this aspect from now on. From now on, I wasn't allowed to just save only the coordinate points of a wire. With each coordinate point, I now have also to save the carpet ID. Finding connections between specific points became one step more complicated, but still manageable. The visualizing system of the developer preview system, however, screamed. The last point mentioning for now is the camera system also was rewritten. It had to become more adaptable. I implemented a method how the camera can move towards specific targets. This might become handy in the future if I want to have a panorama view of certain areas, or if I just want to have a fixated camera position. Also, one possible use of this system is that the camera can zoom onto a specific sign or screen automatically if the player character is near enough. Okay, that was all for this first develop video concerning the new game concept. Thanks for watching.